Hey, welcome into the Stink Truth Podcast alongside Mike Evans. I am Mark Schlereth. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Big Week 10 weekend coming up in just a couple of days. Mike, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. We got some good games to talk about. You got a fun one this weekend. I know we like to make fun of you in the NFC South, but you're getting to see the Carolina Panthers again. A team that maybe
Well, they're going to take me off.
Need to start talking about as a wild card
Fox
team.
will take me off the Carolina beat because they're going to all of a sudden be in the playoff picture, and so then I'll transfer to New Orleans, probably Atlanta, some Arizona in there, like that'll be my new beat. So yeah.
Enjoy Carolina while you can, I guess.
That's right. You know what? Maybe I'm the reason that Carolina's sitting at 5-4, looking to go 6-4 against New Orleans this weekend, where you know who's going to be there. Yours truly will be there. Eventually that'll be Drew Brees' game.
I mean, Panther fans might want to consider putting out a petition to make sure Stink continues to call your games.
You're right. You're welcome. Hey, Carolina, you're welcome.
Hey, Carolina, save the Stink.
Yeah.
Save the Stink. Let's get to some of the other games. Real good one in the NFC West. This NFC West is really shaping up to be a very, very competitive division, but we got Rams and 49ers coming up.
Yeah.
Rams look really, really good.
The Rams are really, really good.
And you and I were talking about this off air, how they've kind of reinvented themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's amazing. And I consistently try to educate you about football, and you consistently don't pay any attention, and you're just off in la JV land, and you don't understand the concepts that I'm trying to impart upon you to make you, like, when you're dealing with your guys, you know, that you coach with, and, you know, and the guys in your neighborhood, when you're hanging out doing whatever it is you guys do, so you can basically just drop knowledge beans on these guys, and you just don't do it. So when Sean McVay first took over with the Rams, they were a real, like, three-wides team. I remember doing a game early in his tenure with the Rams, and 98% of the time they were in three-wide formations. And now when you watch the Rams, dude, they are in three tight ends. I bet you they play, and I don't have any numbers on this, but I bet you they play 13 personnel, three tight ends, and one back more than any team in the National Football League. And they rotate four different tight ends within their offense. And I think one of the things that you look at when you're talking about Parkinson and Higbee and the guys that they have playing tight end for them, man, they all look like they're cookie cutters, right? They all look like they're 6'5", they're 250, 245. They can all run, and they can all block. And here's the big deal. So when you get into those formations with the three tight ends in there, you've got to make a decision, or even the two tight ends. You've got to make a decision as a defense. How are we going to play them? And most of the time, you choose to play them in some type of base personnel on defense. And now when you get into that base personnel, big bodies, big people, you're like, all right, well, guess what our tight ends can do? All of them can run routes. They all can run routes. And so now all of a sudden I've got a favorable matchup because one of my tight ends going to be locked up on one of your linebackers, whether it's zone or whether it's man-to-man, and we are going to eat you alive in that, right? And then all of a sudden you say, okay, well, we can't do that anymore, so now we're going to play him in nickel and dime. We're going to play small people. Oh, well, we're good enough in blocking to line up and thunder punch you in the mouth with Corum or with Kyron Williams, and we'll run it down your throats. So they've got that going for them. And it's not just blocking in the run game, Mike, but it's also protecting the edges in the pass game. So they've got tight ends that now all of a sudden can say, hey, man, we got three tight ends in. We're going to keep at least one dude or maybe two dudes on the edges, and we're going to get our two receivers and our other tight end, or one receiver, our other tight end, out there in space, right? And so, like, they are really messing with NFL defenses right now. And when you watch Matthew Stafford go through a game plan, man, you'll watch them, and in the second quarter, he's all of a sudden he's also he's all of a sudden you'll look at the stat line and it's late in the second quarter and he's delivered passes to 10 different dudes. Like it's been amazing. So they are this great combination of physicality. They're this great combination of, hey man, our tight ends are such a mismatch. We're going to stay in this personnel grouping and we're going to cut you up. I would venture to guess right now, if you put me on the spot, you don't really even have to put me on the spot. They're the best team in the NFC, bar none.
Bar none.
In the NFC. They're the best team in the NFC. I'll put them above Detroit. I'll put them above Philadelphia. I'll put them above any other team in the NFC right now. I think they are the front runners in the clubhouse.
And yet they're 6-2, and the 49ers are only 6-3. Once again, Kyle Shanahan doing a masterful job of navigating these 49ers through a whole bunch of injuries, and yet still finding themselves at 6-3. But it does beg the question, who are these 49ers? What are they? Are they a, contender/pretender, or are they, still legit right there in the mix?
Right, and they've been doing it with their backup quarterback in Mac Jones, which is absolutely incredible. Listen, Kyle Shanahan's a hell of a football coach, and he has the ability to understand what you're trying to do and to exploit what you're trying to do. I'll tell you the other guy that I think is a hell of a football coach is Robert Saleh, their defensive coordinator. So I think they've got a great staff. I think when you put them player for player against a team like the Rams, you put them player for player against some of the best teams in the NFC, I think from just a roster construction standpoint, they are a second-tier NFC roster because of the injuries, because of the issues they have had. But you can't compare Matthew Stafford to either Brock Purdy or to Mac Jones. So I think right now, roster for roster, they're a second tier, but their coaching puts them in positions to win on a consistent basis. And I think that's what kind of sets them apart. But when I look at these two teams, it was interesting because early on, when Sean McVay was in LA and then Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco, it was the San Francisco 49ers who would bludgeon the Rams. They would out-physical the Rams. That's no longer the case. That script is flipped over the last couple of years, and I think it's exactly why the Rams have gotten to the point they've gotten to with this stellar defense up front, with that defensive front seven up front. They're outstanding, rushing the passer, stopping the run, doing all those things because they're really physical. And on top of that, they've gotten back to that run game, that tight end formational game. They want to bludgeon you. Like I've always said this about Sean McVay. They are a power run football team disguised as a spread, and they're no longer disguised as a spread because they spend so much time in 2 and 3 tight end groups.
So I gather you're going with the Rams.
I will go with the Rams.
All right, fair enough. Another team in the NFC that I think we're trying to kind of ascertain, kind of determine, are they legitimate? They're a playoff team, but how much of a threat are they? That's Tampa. And Tampa will be hosting New England. We'll get to the Patriots in a minute, but does Tampa give off to you kind of 49er type vibes in terms of where they are in the NFC hierarchy?
They do because they give out 49er type vibes because they've been so injured.
Yeah.
Like they have had so many injuries that not only you're not playing for them right now. You've been injured,
banged up.
You can't go.
Kills me.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're such a competitor. And it just it kills you not to be able to be there for your team. You got to be out here doing podcasts.
I know.
It is a
far cry from catching touchdown passes from my guy Baker.
Yeah, I mean, awesome.
I'm not that guy, folks. There's some subtle differences between the two of us.
Between the Mike Evans that plays for Tampa and the Mike Evans that does this show.
Right, some subtle.
Identical.
Got to look deep.
Yeah,
look deep. Yeah.
But they've had injuries at the running back position. They've had injuries at the wide receiver position. They've had injuries across their offensive line. And yet they're still sitting there at first place in the South. There's no question that they're the best team in the South. But listen, man, Baker, the way Baker plays the game and the way they believe in Baker and his toughness, his tenacity, I think that oftentimes when I watch Baker play, that's the stuff that resonates with me. And you forget that he's damn good. You know what? I mean, he makes throws on a consistent basis. And I remember talking to Liam Cohen last year when he was the offensive coordinator, and he was just like, listen, man, when it's nut cutting time, that's the guy I want playing quarterback, because that's the guy that's going to make that big time play. And he has done it with, fourth quarter comebacks. He and Bo Nix in Denver have a similar trait in that when you need their best, when the game is on the line and you need their best, they just have a way of figuring out what that best is and making a play. Like, call it the clutchy gene, whatever it is, they just have an ability to shine in the most critical moments. And Baker has that as well as anybody in the league.
And New England, now I guess suddenly, you look at the Patriots and it's no longer, hey, they're a cute story. Hey, they're kind of a surprise team. You can start looking at them as being, especially with the schedule that they have, they've had the easiest schedule in the NFL to this point. They've got the easiest schedule remaining. I mean, this is a team that can now start talking about winning the AFC East, maybe making a play for the best record.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's legitimately in play, is it not?
Yeah, it is. And, it is so... It's such a Mike Vrabel football team.
How so?
They're going to play, usually they're going to play hard-nosed, tough football, right? And they'll make some mistakes because they're young, but they're going to be disciplined from an execution standpoint, and they're going to be tough. Those are two things that Mike Vrabel is going to demand. And, you think about him and his career and how he can be salty and all the different things that he is. But, man, his guys love playing for him. And he did learn this game, to me, from a lot of people, but most importantly, that Bill Belichick, no nonsense, and every scenario covered. I think from a game management point, he really understands the game. We see so many times when teams, are faulty or not quite sure what to do in timeout situations. And now all of a sudden he's become one of the top coaches as far as going for it on fourth down and all those different things. But they've got an outstanding front seven. They're going to play very, very solid, strong football. I still don't think they've given up 100 yards, maybe not even 50 yards to any individual back running the football. They've been unbelievable. Barmore is a great player. Milton Williams is a great player up front. They're just going to do a really good job on the line of scrimmage. And Drake Maye is legitimately entered into MVP type of caliber conversations.
Yep.
He's been that good, especially, attacking the teams deep and throwing the deep ball.
All right, so who you like in this one? Tampa, New England?
In Tampa?
In Tampa.
Tampa coming off their bye week?
Tampa coming off their bye week.
It's going to be hard. 7 games in a row? That's hard to do, right?
In today's NFL?
Tampa getting a little healthy coming off the bye week.
Non-conference game for New England.
Todd Bowles, their head coach, defensive coordinator. He's going to heat up Drake Maye. There's going to be some pressures.
Patriots maybe have been smelling themselves a little bit.
I'm going with Tampa.
All right.
I'm going with Tampa.
Fair enough. Pittsburgh and the Chargers. Again, another one. We were talking about these teams that definitely profile to be playoff teams, but how legitimate are they to be real playoff threats, contenders? I guess I kind of look at Pittsburgh and the Chargers same way. They're both playoff teams. But are they legit? Are they the type of teams that can go deep in the playoffs?
No, well, I don't think so. I think the Chargers, they're so injured, and you look at one of Jim Harbaugh's philosophies, control line of scrimmage. He talked about his 2 offensive tackles being point of the, tip of the spear and all that kind of stuff. He's lost them both, And that was going to be a big part of what they are and who they are and how they identify. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you got also-rans playing offensive line for you. That's never going to be a good thing for a Jim Harbaugh coach team. And then you got like two of the Steelers' wins. One was against the Patriots barely when the Patriots turned the ball over 5 times. And last week was against the Colts barely when the Colts turned it over 6 times. They were +5 against the Colts, and I think they were +4 against the Patriots. They might have been +5 against the Patriots as well, and they won by a combined total of what?
10 points?
10 points?
Yeah.
I mean, like it was insanity. And so I will say that I saw... you always, you're following social media and you see some of the, the outlets and some of the folks talking. I can't remember exactly who it was, but a really popular, talking head, gas bag, like myself, us, saying something about, and I always find this fascinating. Mike Tomlin, the game is passed him by. This is something you would say. Mike Tomlin, the game is passed him by. And I'm like, who are these people? The game, like Mike Tomlin is in the midst of coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the midst of it. Every day he's meeting. Every day he's watching film. Every day he's putting game plans together. Every day he's managing injuries. Every day he's seeing what every other team does in the National Football League. He's defending against them and all that. How has the game passed you by? Are you just oblivious to what's going on? Yeah. You're just not paying attention?
Like he sat out of the game for 2 years, He's living, breathing it every single week.
Yeah, I'm blown away when people say these things. Now, personnel happens to be a big, big issue, right? You have got, and you know this, and you say it all the time, coaching matters, but you know what matters more is players. You got to have players that can execute. You got to have players that can do those things. And like I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, but these guys are paper tigers, right?
Feels like it.
It feels like the Baltimore Ravens are gonna. If I had to put down an amount of money that mattered to me right now, I would put the Baltimore Ravens to win this division. You could probably get that in Vegas, right? You could probably do that. You could probably do that. You'd probably get pretty decent odds, right?
You get 2 cockroaches crawling up a wall. Who gets to the top first? Odds.
So. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that there is no question that the Baltimore Ravens will reel them in and win this division. I don't think there's any question.
So
now,
what will ultimately hold the Steelers back? I mean, yes, they've had a couple of games where they've been able to force a lot of turnovers, but their defense has also been uncharacteristically a sieve a lot of times. Is it the defense that will keep them from getting to where Steeler fan wants them to be, or will it be Aaron Rodgers and this offense just not finding, another groove?
Yeah, I think it's probably just a cop out, but it's probably a little bit of both. You can't give up big plays. You can't give up, the scores and the things they've given up. And then I just don't think they have enough consistent firepower on the offensive side of the ball to be really good. But remember, this goes back to, and I'm not saying they're going to be a Super Bowl contender because I don't think they are, but if you remember back to Brady's first year in Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians, and I remember doing a game when they used to let me do like
really good games.
Yeah, right.
Really big name quarterback.
I remember sitting down talking to Brady. This does me no favors.
This does not help you.
It does not help me, but I don't give a shit. So
congratulations to Drew Brees, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Newest, analyst for Fox.
Exactly. He was doing the games I was doing. I guess just got bumped down again. So no, good. Drew Brees is gonna be great. So they what were we talking about?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. That's right, Pittsburgh. So
Tampa, you being wrong.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So
kissing Tom Brady on the cheek.
Right. Okay. So Tom Brady and I'm talking.
It's all coming back.
Right. I'm talking to Bruce Arians, and I think they were like
7-5.
Yeah, they were just a couple games over 500, and Bruce was just like, we just haven't totally gotten on the same page yet, quarterback and coach, because I like to do things post-snap I like the quarterback to read the defense post-snap. Tom wants to do all the motions and all the stuff to read it pre-snap and to know what he's getting. And we haven't, he's like, if we were dating, we haven't quite hit third base yet, you know? We're on second base. I don't know what is second base.
You really want me to say that?
Yeah, okay, first base is what? Holding hands or something? Kissing?
Yeah.
Second base is?
Boobies.
Come in Tokyo? Third base is?
You know,
A little bit more in depth?
you know.
And fourth base is doing the dirty.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Has that changed at all?
I'm
Ty?
glad.
Same.
No, it's the same stuff?
Same, you know.
Okay. So
Just
he said,
checking in with the younger generation,
right,
just to make sure that the
Bruce was like,
bases are the same.
yeah, we're still kind of on second
Yeah,
base.
all right.
We're second base. So, you know, and Bruce has some boobies you could feel, I'm assuming. Like, right at that point in his career, you know,
Probably.
he had some
moves.
jubblies.
Had some moves.
Not Brady. Sleek.
Taut.
Oh, my gosh. When all you eat is avocados and water, I mean, you're going to be taut.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so it took a while. So maybe this offense will progress a little bit, but the Steelers' defense is what they're normally built on. They've just given up too many points. So I would say that was probably what's going to hold them back more than anything else.
You already have talked about Baltimore. You clearly like Baltimore and the direction they're going to go in late run here from them. But what about Minnesota? They get Baltimore, Minnesota this week. J.J. McCarthy, not overwhelming stats, but certainly didn't look overmatched out there. Made some plays with his arm, with his legs. Is there time? Is there time for a J.J. McCarthy-led Vikings team to find their stride quick enough to maybe slide in as a wild card team?
I think as the defense goes under Brian Flores, this team will have a chance to compete. And if you're really good at picking up the exotics and dictating to Brian Flores' defense, I think you win. I mean, come on, this breakout game by J.J. McCarthy, and I get it. Listen, man, they got to win, and I didn't expect this out of J.J. McCarthy, but I do believe they completed 14 passes, right? So, like, when your game plan is we have to protect our quarterback and we can't let him throw it more than 22 times, like that's not exactly exuding confidence in the guy pulling the trigger. So I think it really becomes how good you are on the defensive side of the ball, and they were great against a stellar offense as far as shutting down some of those big plays and and creating opportunities for their offense to score.
Since you don't mind talking about your Fox cohorts, speaking of Brady, did you see the story with him this week?
Oh, the dog cloning thing?
Yeah,
I didn't look into it, but
so apparently Brady says that his dog, Junie, is a clone of his late dog, Lua, and that the company that Brady is an investor in,
dog cloning company,
did the dog cloning. It's kind of weird.
Dog. I mean, if you really like your dog, I suppose. What's next? What else can you clone?
Tommy's a far cry from the Tom Brady that was back in the day with the Patriots. He's kind of gotten a little.
Do you think it's
weird?
like? Do you think it's legit? Like it's a legit dog cloning place, or is it kind of like where? Well,
it's a company that he's an investor in.
Yeah, but you think they legitimately you can do that? Like you can legitimately clone your favorite dog or whatever? You got to bring what? You got to bring dog DNA in,
So
or is this like Ted Williams' frozen head?
Right. So his company, which aims to quote fix extinction. This is the company that clones dogs.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I mean,
Tom did say in a statement, "I love my animals. They mean the world to me and my family. A few years ago, I worked with this company. I leveraged their non-invasive cloning technology through a simple blood draw of our family's elderly dog before he passed."
do you think they had to give a stool sample as well? Yeah, you have to do that for the vet. You got to chase your dog around and pick up a turd out of the.
Oh, especially if they got the really bad.
Right.
All right, you want to get to our picks?
That's. Yeah, I guess.
How do we talk about?
Okay, I got to tell you. Here's the deal. Going into last week, you were 12-12, and I was 12-12.
Yep.
You went 1-2. I went 0-3, and so I have made an executive decision on this show right here. So I use these 4-color pins.
Seriously, I have not seen these since I was in junior high school.
I use the 4-color pins. You can see right here. And I want you to know that I've been doing this in blue. This week I went to red.
Oh, boy. You mean business.
This is like DEFCON 5. Is DEFCON 5 the worst?
It's the other way.
Oh, this is like DEFCON 1.
Yes.
I am now 12-15. You are 13-14.
Oh, boy. You following us?
Man.
You're not doing well.
You are losing money.
Hopefully you've been going opposite. Of
right. Go
doing.
opposite.
We were both pretty. I mean, you were really good last year.
Yeah, I was like 66 some odd percent.
Yeah, and I wasn't bad. I was over 50%, but I was still well behind you. So.
Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, all right. We got.
You know what I've been doing though, and I didn't tell you this. I've changed to the red ink.
Yeah.
I also was picking, and this is like I've got this documented on film. I was picking with one eye closed over the last 9 weeks.
Really?
Boom. This eye's opened. And I had surgery on this eye. So now I can see. Woo! Think about that. Think about that as I pick this week. So go ahead. You pick first. Lord only knows why we even do this, but go ahead. You pick first. Go.
Again, we're hoping that you just go opposite us and you start, just raking in the cash. Money. Here we go. All right. The first pick for you to go against me, I'm going to take Baltimore. I'm buying the whole Baltimore resurgence, and they are probably going to end up winning the AFC North. I'm going to go with Baltimore -4.5 at Minnesota. Okay? That's how much I believe in Baltimore. I think New England's a great story. Boy, the New England Patriots winning 7 in a row, that just seems like
too much, right?
Too much. Tampa,
too much too soon.
Tampa at home coming off the bye.
Yeah.
I like Tampa Bay -2.5 over the Patriots. And as confounding as the Green Bay Packers are, and part of the reason why we're so stunned when they lose to Carolina the way they do is because, like right before that, they look like a really good football team. The way they turned on in the second half and beat the Steelers, I mean, they look legit.
One week they look like the best team in the NFC, and the next week they lose to Cleveland or Carolina or whatever it is.
So because they are that up and down, I'm going to bank on them being up Monday Night Football, Lambeau against Philadelphia. I'm going to take Green Bay -2.5.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like all those picks. I think they're going to work out wonderfully for you. All right. I'm moving on. And my theme.
These are the Red Pen Ink.
Red Pen Ink
picks.
And I've gone back to theming my picks.
Themes.
Yeah, themes. Because I was doing that last year and I was tremendous. And this year I've gotten away from the themes.
So what's the theme?
The theme
First of all,
is
what's the theme?
Go big or go home.
Go big or go. I like that.
Yeah. So my first game is in Germany. Unten glieden glauden glauben. I'm going with the Colts -6.5 over Atlanta. I think they ought to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. 6 turnovers. That doesn't happen again. I think they're a superior team controlling both lines of scrimmage. I'm going with the Colts over the Atlanta Falcons. Then I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills coming off that Kansas City win over the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are done. It's over. Coach Capri Pants has survived, but I don't think it's going to last that long. They got rid of their GM. The Bills -9.5. I'll give the points. I don't care. And then big rebound for the Detroit Lions over a former team of mine, the Washington Commanders. No Jaden Daniels. I think it's going to be too much for the Washington Commanders. I think the Detroit Lions, after the errors of their way last week when they lost to the Minnesota Vikings, I think they bounce back. Detroit -8 over Washington. I'll give the points. I'm taking Detroit.
Whew, you're giving up 23.5.
Don't care.
Excuse me, 24 points this week.
Red pin.
Go big, go home.
Red pin, both eyes, theme.
All right.
You cannot go wrong. 3-0. 3-0 this week. Right back to 5.
The pen has spoken.
3-0, right back to 500.
That'll get you back to 500.
That'll get me back to 500. Then I'm on my way.
Then you're on your way.
Then I'm a second half surge.
Yep.
That's what they call it, the second half surge.
Just get back to 500, baby.
All right. Hey, for everybody involved in the Stinkin Truth Podcast, thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Make sure you subscribe, share it with your friends. We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back to you on Monday, wrapping up Week 10.